Hello, my name is Rebecca Moreno, and I will be presenting on digital citizenship within the 21st century of learning. Now, what is digital citizenship? According to Mike Ribble, digital citizenship is a concept which helps teachers and parents understand what students, children, and technology users should know about using technology appropriately. And essentially, we want to teach students on the norms of responsible and appropriate use of technology. As educators, it's very important that we prepare our students for 21st century learning. Now, what is 21st century learning? 21st century learning consists of 21st century skills, which are a set of academic building blocks, abilities, and ways of thinking that can help our students thrive as 21st century learners. 21st century skills also help prepare students for what they will need to know and be able to know in school and college, in their future careers, and throughout all aspects within their personal life. Students can build these skills by applying them as they learn regular school subjects such as history, science, ELA. These 21st century skills can be applied in all aspects within a daily school routine, which is great. And as educators, we need to be so transparent with how 21st century learning works. Now let's go into the 21st century student outcomes. P21 has a framework for 21st century learning outcomes. It focuses on content knowledge and 21st century themes, digital literacy, the 4 C's, which are critical for 21st century learners. It focuses on critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity. It also focuses on life and career skills that we want our students to be ready for. Now let's go into the 9 themes of digital citizenship that we want to teach our students as well as be educated on. The first one is digital access, which focuses on equal digital rights and technology access. I know at my school that I teach at, every student has their individual Chromebook that they could use within their classroom. Number 2 is digital commerce. Learn how to be an effective consumer in the digital economy. Number 3 is digital communication, which focuses on the ability to communicate with other people through technology. I know today there's so many forms of ways that we can communicate within technology, whether that's through Google Chat, FaceTime, instant messaging. It's just the amount of ways to communicate is endless now. Number 4 is digital literacy, which focuses on educating about technology and the use of technology, which also ties into digital etiquette, which focuses on appropriate guidelines on being a responsible digital citizen. And number 6 is digital law, which focuses on the ethical use and responsibility for actions electronically. And number 7 is digital rights and responsibilities, which focuses on users being able to define and know the appropriate use of technology. And number 8, which really stood out to me, was digital health and wellness. This focuses on one's physical and psychological well-being in the world of technology. We recently just talked about FOMO, fear of missing out, and how it really affects people mentally. And I think this is something that we as educators should strongly be aware of and transparent on, and really educate our students on this, because knowing how much this affects people is not only alarming, but it's something that should be taken seriously. And lastly, number 9 is digital security, which focuses on taking online precautions to guarantee online safety at school and also at home using the internet. And lastly, how as educators can we teach digital citizenship? We want to explain the importance of digital citizenship. I know my district, we use commonsense.org, which has a lot of lesson plans on there that teachers can use in order to teach effective digital citizenship within the classroom. We can educate on the 9 themes of digital citizenship, which we just went over. We can implement classroom strategies on avoiding cyber hate and cyberbullying. We can also establish classroom policies and procedures on using technology appropriately at school and at home. And lastly, we can explain the importance of internet safety and online privacy. And that is it. Thank you for listening.